Hello, folks. You are looking live at Boston Municipal Arena here in Boston, Massachusetts, as we get ready for the first game in PIHANA history. Puck is about to be dropped, and we have Anderson against Clarkson. Today we have the Boston Yachts hosting the New York Empire. Folks, here we go. Braun takes it behind his own net, gets it up to Stevens, up to Backlov. Anderson carries it across the red. Met there by a couple of Empire defenders. King gets it over to Anderson. Anderson blocked off from the centering pass. Anderson gets it low. Hollenbeck knocks it to the corner. Forward battle there between the Empire and the Yachts. And Henneman will come out with it. Clarkson carries it out of the zone up to Kovalov. Kovalov carries it across off the crossbar, it looked like. King will pick it up. A lucky break for the Yachts early here at home. Up to Anderson. He carries it wide across the blue. Dekes in. And gets behind the net. Stevens the first to get to it. Gets it back out high to Braun. Stevens picks it back up. O'Shea knocked off. Henneman will pick up the loose change over to Hollenbeck. Up to Clarkson. They get it across the blue line. Ryba carries it in. Knocked away. Braun up to Spatal. Spatal will get it deep. New York the first on it. Edmund Paul, the defender for the Empire. Kovalov. O'Shea knocks him off the puck. Christensen in their own zone, and Kuznetsov will come away with it, carry it out of the zone. He retreats back, allows his line mates to go off for a line change. Clarkson got it up to, I'll tell you who that is, Paul, across into the slot and gets it wide. Emil Barron walked away. Westbrook over to Lindholm, back to Paul, to Westbrook, carries to the slot. And that is going to be a power play. We have a slash on Nick O'Shea. Nick O'Shea, the Boston kid, picks up the first penalty in Boston Yachts history. He will head to the box, and the Empire, with their first ever, that's a slash. The Empire, their first ever power play in franchise history. Let's see if it can be successful. McIntyre will take the draw. It's Adolfson. Adolfson knocks it wide. Jordan pick it up, tries to get it out there, but Barron knocks it down. And we have another penalty. This on Boston as well. It is Brandon Jordan. Oh my goodness. So back-to-back slashes for the Yachts here. And so New York is going to go 5-on-3. Barron knocked it down. I didn't really see much, but the official apparently had a good enough angle to make the call there. So now a 5-on-3 for the Empire here. Joubert will dump it down and get it out of harm's way. New York back to get it. Kuznetsov up to McIntyre, across to Kovalov. Kovalov will carry across the blue. He will stop at the dots and picked off. Joubert snatches it away and gets it down. Kuznetsov again, first to get down there. Up to McIntyre. He carries it across the blue. Barron scores! The first goal in Empire history belongs to Emil Barron. Assisted by McIntyre and Kuznetsov. And they score quick enough that they will have a 5-on-4 penalty for about for 1 minute and 27 seconds. 5-on-4. Clarkson gets it to the middle, and Sabel will hold on to it. So how about that? The first goal in Empire history comes to Emil Barron. What a shot. What a setup. McIntyre carrying it across the blue, getting free, getting it to the slot, and Barron buries it there. Henneman blocked down in front. Backlov will get it out of there. Flips it up and out. New York back to get it. It will be Kuznetsov again. To Clarkson. Clarkson carries it across, carries it inside. Will fire, and Sabel knocks it down and leaps on top of it. And he will cover it up to get the stoppage. All right, and they are set up. They are ready to go. Clarkson against Adolfson. Oh no, that's Anderson, excuse me. Joubert. Anderson won the face-off to Joubert, and he flips it down. Hollenbeck. Over to Paul. Paul gets it up to Clarkson. Clarkson cuts across, and he's knocked off the puck by Joubert. Joubert gets back to the front of the net to knock it down. Clarkson to Westbrook. Ryba Oh, tries to get it through, and Backlov reads the play really well and gets it out. Can't get it all the way down as Hollenbeck knocks it down. Westbrook comes across. Clarkson into the slot. Knocked off the puck by Backlov. Joubert in the corner. Fighting there 2-by-2. They get it out. And I think it was Clarkson couldn't quite get it on net. So a stoppage here. New York with a 1-0 lead. We have 13:55 left in the first period here. Tie up on the draw, and it's won by Boston, and Braun will get it down, and that will end the power play for the Empire. They do score on the 5-on-3, unsuccessful with the one-man advantage. Oh, and a stretch pass, Kuznetsov to McIntyre, and he puts it wide. Kovalov bumped. Anderson puts it up. Anderson across to Braun. Knocked down. Henneman to Barron, the goal scorer tonight. Barron up to Kovalov. Kovalov carries it across. Stops. Gets it towards the middle, and it's blocked away. And Tonison. Across to Tipton. Or excuse me, King. King to Anderson. Anderson to the middle. Can't get it off. Stevens with a shot at Anderson. Calvin Anderson. The first goal in Boston Yachts history. That top line going to work after the penalty kill. And Anderson able to pop one. Calvin Anderson with the first goal in Yachts history. Anderson will carry it wide. Vital. Brunch. A couple of Empire players. Olenbeck. Into the cross out of his own zone. Up to Kuznetsov. And that is offsides. Kuznetsov comes across early. The puck is knocked off his stick. Now they are lined up, ready to go. One back by the Empire. Henneman to Kraus. And they score! Sebastian Nash. What a setup. They get it across the line, get Boston out of position, and Sebastian Nash buries one for the Empire. So they are up 2-1 here early. We still have over half the first period here to go. Oh, Vinogradov turned it over. Nash. Oh, he just couldn't make another move. Sobel to Vinogradov. And Tonison over to Schvatal. Vinogradov carries. And he will get it deep. Olenbeck first to get back there. Up to DiFolino. Nash. Bumped off. And Tonison. Anderson carries. O'Shea carries across, and he will get it deep. He will go off for a change. Nash bumped off the puck. Braun over to Cherry, up to Jordan. Adolfson goes across. Cherry into the zone. Cuts wide. Gets it in front. Jordan. Oh, and he stopped. DiFolino. Adolfson. Olenbeck. Over to Westbrook. Westbrook carries it across the red line. Up through and knocked down by Braun. Over to Backlov. Backlov up to Cherry. Cherry going to be offside as it was knocked away by Olenbeck. Ellis Rask getting the first start for the New York Empire in goal. He's had one beat him so far, and that he's been pretty solid. Faceoffs are even 5 apiece. Another one won by Boston. Braun up to Tipton. Braun keeps it in to Abraham. Oh, and Westbrook able to come up with it as he's knocked off the puck. Westbrook to Lindholm. Lindholm to Barron. Barron carries across. Westbrook to Kuznetsov, and he's stopped by Sobel. Braun tries to get it up. Bumped off the puck. Paul down to Westbrook. Doesn't get a ton of wood on that. Sobel will play it. Excuse me, who's that? Petrick. Over to Braun. Braun exits the zone up to Petrick. Tipton fires, and it's stopped by Rask. Petrick in the corner. Come across over to Tipton, and he couldn't really get a shot off on that one. Pass up to Ryba. Ryba trying to make a move. Unable. Forward battle. Anderson. The speedy Calvin Anderson carries away. And he is knocked off by Lindholm and Paul. King! Whoa! couldn't get good wood on it. And it was stopped by Rask, and Rask looked like he was going to hold on to it, but he gets it up. Puck over to Kovalov. Ryba. Clarkson. Oh, and it is swept away by Backlov, and he carries it to the corner. Carrying it behind his own net. Backlov tries to get it up. Clarkson there to take it away. Ryba in the short slot. And Sabo will stop it and get a stoppage. What action? End to end right now. Looks like New York's trying to get that 2-goal lead. Boston needs to hold steady for the rest of this period. See if you can get a goal to tie it. Here at home. Christensen with the puck will carry it out of his zone. Knocked off. Romanders up to Crew. O'Shea picks it off. Christensen now across into his own zone. Carries it behind his net. O'Shea blocked away. Spatal. Oh, and what a stop by Rask. Spatal has it again in the slot. Bumped off the puck. And it will be carried out by Bowden. Joubert over to O'Shea. Speedy Nick O'Shea. Dumps it down. Romanders the first one there. McIntyre up to Bowden. And that one is flipped over the glass, and we will get a stoppage. 3:28 left here in the first. So centerman will step in, ready for the faceoff. Won by Boston. Gordon brings it across. Tries to get it centered, but McIntyre will take it away. McIntyre carries across. It's 2-on-4. Knocked away, waiting for reinforcements. Crew tries to get into the slot and is denied. Jordan carries across. Flips it deep. Michelson will carry it away. Up to Kraus. Kraus will dump it deep. Nagradov up to Jordan. Jordan's got room and he's plastered. Adolfson there. Cherry knocked away by Holenbeck at the blue line. Cherry tries to fight there. With Kraus. Holenbeck up to Kraus. Kraus carries across. DiFolino knocked off his puck. Into with Adolfson. But ends up knocking it away. Nagradov up to Adolfson. Nagradov over to Cherry. Cherry carries it in. Knocked into the boards by Holenbeck. Holenbeck over to DiFolino. DiFolino. And it looked like it caught the glass there right at the benches there, so he will have a stoppage. Bring it back outside the zone and have a face-off. 52 seconds left here in the first period. New York able to come away with it. It gives it right back to Boston. Braun gets it out of his own zone. Henneman to Ryba. Ryba carries in. Centers. Stopped. Backlov up to Braun. Stevens. Does he have a step? Nope. Tries to make a move. Stevens. Oh, and Anderson gets knocked off the puck there. Henneman with 4 seconds. Up to Kovalov, and they will dump it in, and that will do it for the first period of play here at Boston Municipal Arena. The Yachts down 2-1, the visiting Empire here. Game 1 of the PIHANA season. We got 40 minutes to go, 20 minutes down. It's been a fun 20 minutes so far. We'll see you back after the break. Welcome back, folks. We are back from intermission here at Boston Municipal Arena. So we get set for period 2 between the Boston Yachts and the New York Empire. The Empire have a 2-1 lead headed to the second here. Clarkson and Anderson dig in, and we are off and away with the second period here. Henneman carries it across the line, carries it to the dots. Kovalov knocked off by Braun. Anderson carries it across the blue line. Makes a step towards the middle, and Henneman sticks with him the whole way. Ryba carries it up. He tries to make a move, and Braun is right there with him. Braun carries it behind his own net. Bit of a Interesting play there as he gets mixed up with Sobel. King over across the line. King tries to carries in. He gets knocked off. Ryba up to Clarkson. Looking for reinforcements. Looking for someone to send it to. And he gets blown up by Bo Gron. Bo Gron over to Calvin Anderson. Anderson up to King. King gets crunched to the benches by Clarkson. Clarkson knocked away for a second, but he gets it up to Emil Barron, the first goal scorer. Kuznetsov gets it to the middle, and Sobel will hang on as this one gets sort of funneled back to him in the net there, and we will get a face-off in the zone here. Vital and Westbrook dig in. Vital comes up with it to Christensen. Vinogradov carries it across the red line. Vital over across the blue line. To Vinogradov in the middle. Stopped by Rask. Put behind the net, and Kuznetsov carries it. Westbrook now back behind his own net into the corner. They get it out. Hollenbeck up to Barron. Barron across the blue line. Knocked off his stick. Barron sticks with it. Intercepted by O'Shea as he fights for it there. Kuznetsov in the high slot. Hollenbeck scored! Gottfried Hollenbeck, the Swedish defenseman with the sweet mitts, puts it top shelf and beats Sobel. What a shot by the defenseman. That's a goal scorer's goal right there. Kuznetsov and Heinonen with the assists on the play. Hollenbeck gets it up to Krause, and he gets crunched. Tonason up to Vital. All intercepted by Heinonen. Hollenbeck over to Krause. Knocked off the puck. O'Shea carries it in. He's met there by two Empire, Hollenbeck and Krause. Hollenbeck tries to get it out, tries to get it up to Krause, and he's just out of his reach. Tonason pestered by Krause there, the big defenseman. Tonason up to Jordan. Christensen carries it across the blue line. Looking for numbers. At the dots in the high slot. Hollenbeck picks it off. He's had a heck of a game so far through about 25 minutes. Nash picked off by Christensen. Christensen up to Cherry. Cherry to Vinogradov. Vinogradov over to Jordan. Jordan to the middle to Christensen. Christensen carries it across, and it is intercepted by the Empire. So they will retreat and try to break out. There they go. They will get it deep. Backlov back there to get it. He'll stretch past center ice to Adolfson. Cherry knocked off the puck. I believe that was Paul. Michelson over to Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck picked off by Jordan. Adolfson. Looked like he was going to get met there, so he gets it deep to Jordan. Jordan pestered there. Another fight in the corner. Paul, Edmund Paul, the German, able to come away. Galen Bowden over to Lindholm. Victor Lindholm carries in, and it's knocked away by Backlov. A great stick there. Backlov over to Stevens. Stevens knocked off the puck. King to Backlov. Backlov, and he will keep it in. And he'll get bumped off the puck by Michelson. Michelson carries it away. Kuznetsov will dump it down deep. Let the Empire go to work. Backlov first there. Stevens over to Anderson. See if he can get his speed going here. Anderson carries it across. Into Stevens. Oh, and stopped by Rask. Tried to beat him glove side. Ellis Rask up to the task. Able to stop him. We have a 3-1 game here in Boston. 11:28 left in the second period. We're about at the halfway point of the game here. Braun put it on net, but put it wide. Braun down to Kutrick. Kutrick knocked off. Ryba. Paul carries it across. Gets it in. Kovalov had a step. It's in the crease. Ryba. Sobel. Will hold on to the puck and let things settle for a second. So there we are. We are back to the dots. Clarkson taking the face off for New York. Hollenbeck over to Kovalov. Ryba. Shot and stopped by Sobel. We'll hold on to this one. Clarkson again in the circle for the Empire. I couldn't see who it was for. Oh! And that went between Sobel's leg, but thankfully goes wide for the young goaltender. Dale Kolar carries it out, the defenseman. Carries it wide. Carries it in. Abraham stopped. Petrick. Man, what a stop. Ellis Rask goes from post back to center, squares that puck up, and is able to stop it. What a game so far here by Ellis Rask. We will have Nash and Spatal taking the face off. Tie up. Able to win it for Boston. Hennanen off the shot from the rebound. Krause to center ice. We'll get it over to DiFolino. DiFolino to Nash. Nash gets crunched by Joubert. Spatal. Over to O'Shea. O'Shea will get it deep. Ullenbeck stood up there by Christensen. Krause comes away with it. Krause will get it deep. Kolar the first to get on it. Kolar bump there. Still fights with it from DiFolino. Gets it up to Joubert. Christensen across the red line into the zone. Christensen carries. Goes wide. Gets to go behind the net into the corner. O'Shea into the slot. And knocked away by Rask. Good stop by the goaltender. The Finnish goaltender here. Had a good debut so far. Over to DiFolino. DiFolino carries in. He's got Krause in the center. Oh! I don't know if Sabo got a piece of that or if Krause put it wide, but a good centering pass by DiFolino. DiFolino now to Krause. Carries it across. Michelson has it in the slot. It's a back out. Bowden. Unable to do anything with it there. Anderson from King. Anderson carries. Tries to center, and Michelson reads that play perfectly on the back check and gets there. Hennanen up to McIntyre. McIntyre's had a good game here so far. The third liner. And Gradov over to Antonison. Anderson. And carry. Bumped off the puck, but he sticks with it. Still bumped off the puck and will keep with it. Strength by Anderson. Oh, and what a centering pass, and Stevens unable to beat Ellis Rask. They still are having a tough time solving Rask. They're moving the puck well. They're getting it deep, especially that top line for the Yachts. But no luck so far. We have 5:21 left here in the second. Face off won by the Empire. Barron will carry across. Picked off. Idelfson carries it across the blue line. Shot. Knocked away by Rask. Brought in front to Jordan. And it's another glove stop by Ellis Rask. That glove hand has been on point today so far. Face off here in the New York zone. Backlov over to Braun. To Jordan in the middle. Backlov over to Cherry. Cherry shoots. Knocked away by Rask. Boston, I think, has had a little bit more tempo here. You can tell they're looking to get back to a one-goal game. Adolfsson bumped off the puck. Tries to get it across the red line and get it deep, and he does. Lindholm. Excuse me, the first one there. Up to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov to Kovalov. Fight for it there. Tipton over to Abraham. Abraham crunched to the wall by Kovalov. Ryba in there. Oh, but he can't get away from Braun. Petrick gets it deep. Tipton carries in to the slot. Puts it wide. Ryba. Clarkson up. Abraham over to Petrick. Petrick carries it across the blue line. Clarkson stood up there. Ryba over to Clarkson. Tries to make it past to Kovalov, and it goes between his legs. Centers. Ryba. Oh, and stopped by Sabo. He's out there. Gets the angle on him. He's able to knock it away. Knock it to the corner. Christensen carries it across the red line. Knocked away by McIntyre. McIntyre and Christensen fight. Backlov in. He will back out. Shot by Spatal and knocked away. Bowden with 35 seconds left. He's back into his zone to the red line. McIntyre to Clarkson. Clarkson carries in. McIntyre stopped. Oh. Clarkson was sniffing there. He was looking to get a juicy rebound on Sabo. He is unable to. There's Rask with a great game so far. Faced off in the Boston zone. Michelson take it for New York. Crew knocked away. Antonison will take it away from danger. Crew Over to McIntyre. Crunched. And that is the end of the second period. So 1 goal. Olenbeck beats Sobel on the glove side. There's a little congestion there in the slot. I still think Sobel would definitely like to have that one back. But that is it for 40 minutes. We will be right back after these commercial breaks for the final 20 minutes of the PIHANA inaugural game. Welcome back, folks. We have a heck of a third period ahead for you as the New York Empire and the Boston Yachts do battle here. New York leads 3-1 here in Boston at Boston Municipal Arena. We are ready for the third. See if New York can make this a 1-goal game first, or if Boston can get some much-needed insurance for that 2-goal lead. Clarkson up to Ryba. Ryba knocked off. Backlov comes away with it. Anderson up to King. King carries across. Anderson into the slot. Stop! Score! Josiah Stevenson gets it off the rebound from Rask, and he buries it. So just 35 seconds into the third, we now have a 1-goal game with over 19 minutes left here in the third. What is set up by that forward line. Started with King centering it to Anderson. Anderson with the shot, and Stevens just crashing the net, able to get in there and pop one past Rask. All right, we have Anderson going up against Clarkson again here in the dock. And Boston able to come away with it. Braun up to King. King carries across. Gets it to center. Oh, and it's knocked away by Olenbeck. He has been great for the Empire so far tonight. Ovalov will get it deep. Braun the first one there, and he's crunched by Ryba. Up to Stevens. Over to Anderson. Knocked away. Backlov carries it across the blue line. The defenseman going in deep. Tries to center. And Anderson had a chance if he could have just corralled that one. Clarkson will decide to retreat. Gets it back to his defenseman Henneman. Up to Ryba. Ryba will carry across. Backlov, that great stick, knocks it away. Christensen gets it deep. Austin will try to get in forecheck. Swital, the first one there. O'Shea. Oh, it's stopped, and Christensen had a chance at it. Swital to O'Shea. Knocked away. Henneman carried away from danger. Knocked away. Not out of the zone yet for the Empire. Olenbeck up to Kovalov, and they will exit the zone. Kovalov gets it deep. That's kind of the strategy here for New York. Just get it deep. Try to keep it out of your own zone. Make them go 200 feet. Swital up to O'Shea. He will dump it. It looked like he had an angle there on the defenseman, but he decides to just dump it. Go off for a change. Defenseman Backlov with another great play with the stick. Drawn. And that'll be a trip. Oh no. So Boston will head to the power play. Tito Westbrook. Yep, the trip looked pretty obvious from my vantage point. And basically face plants drawn into the boards or into his bench there with the trip. So now Boston, who has all the momentum right now, goes on the power play with a chance to tie it. New York wins the draw, and Lindholm will get it out of there. And now Boston, the all-important face-off, they're unable to win it. Now let's see if they can go into the zone. Anderson gets free. Up front, and it's blocked. What a shot block. Lindholm will come away with it and get it deep. He will charge in on the full check and then retreat. Anderson up to Stevens. Over to King. King had the shot earlier that was blocked. Lindholm tries to get out of there. Michelson, Paul, Rask will get it out to Paul. Up to Michelson. Michelson will dump it down. Another clear for the Empire. Boston across the red line. Stevens carries it in 3-on-3, and it's knocked away by Sebastian Nash. Lindholm gets a hold of it, and he will get it out of there. Joubert back to pick it up. Gets it up to center ice to Anderson with speed. Anderson knocked off by Edmund Paul. What a play by the German defenseman. Schubert up to King, over to Anderson. Stevens will carry, and it is offsides. King couldn't quite hold the line. They're on the left wing, so that'll bring it outside the zone. Now that second unit out there for Boston. Tall. Molenbeek gets it. O'Shea to Shvital in this. Oh, what a stop by Rash. Shvital had a chance in the slot there. Set up by O'Shea. 18 seconds left on the power play here. O'Shea up to Shvital. Shvital carries, knocked away by McIntyre. Up to O'Shea. Knocked away again. DiFolino up to McIntyre. McIntyre carries it in. He's got room. Oh, what a setup and a stop on DiFolino by Sobel. Shvital carries it in. Knocked away. Kuznetsov will pick it up. 13 minutes left here in the third. Over to Vinogradov. O'Shea carries and will dump it in. Molenbeek to Kuznetsov. McIntyre carries. McIntyre stays wide, stops. Molenbeek. Oh, and it was deflected. It was knocked down, I think, by a Yachts player. But Sobel able to read that and get a hand on it. So we're back for the face-off. Tito Westbrook going against Danny Abraham, it looks like. Backlog. Over to Petrick. Petrick gets it deep. In. Pressed to the boards by Tipton. Molenbeek up to Westbrook. And Westbrook carries it into the zone, and it's knocked off his stick. Gone. Bumped there by Westbrook, but he's able to hold on. Tipton. To Abraham, back to Braun. Backlog. Miscommunication there by the two defensemen. And an interception. Barron will carry across. On Braun. Into the slot. Backlog gets it away from danger. For the Yachts. Anderson carries in, knocked off the puck. Molenbeek to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov will get it deep. Look at the halfway point of the third period here. Kovalov to the head, he scores! Jamie Ryba, set up by Sly Kovalov. What a setup on the backhand, and Ryba able to bury it past Sobel to give the Empire their 2-goal lead back. So we just hit the 10-minute mark when that goal went through. So we have half a period for Boston to try to get those two important goals to equalize this game. King into the slot. Stopped. Rask will hold on to it. And we'll get a face-off here in the New York zone. Clarkson will take the face-off against Anderson. Heninen up to Kovalov. Set up the great goal by Ryba there to give the insurance. Clarkson will get it deep. Ryba crunches Braun. Kovalov away with it. Clarkson into the slot and can't do anything with it. Stevens carried it away. Stevens over to King. Molenbeek will hold it up to Ryba. Tries to make a move on Braun and it is unsuccessful. Braun over to Backlov, up to Anderson. Anderson to King into the slot. Deflected down, and Rask will play it. Henneman wasn't really sure he wanted to play that. Rask did anyway. And New York looks like it's not going to matter. They will get it out of trouble. Molenbeek carries it across the blue line. Knocked off by Adelson. Adelson up to Cherry. King brings it in. He's 1-on-2. Molenbeek knocks it away. DiFolino up to Kraus, his third line for the Empire. Cherry with the takeaway. He's unable to beat Molenbeek. Vinogradov, oh, and what a stop by Rask. Vinogradov still had the puck, and Henneman now puts it back to his goaltender, and now gets knocked away. Backlog fighting there with DiFolino. Still fighting. Kraus now fighting with Backlog. He gets punched. Kraus does. Adelson puts it up the boards to Jordan. Vinogradov to Shvital. Shvital carries in. O'Shea stopped. It was loose for a second, but Paul able to swipe away with it. Knocked off Michelson. To DiFolino. They score! It is Mike McIntyre. This fourth line for the Empire sets up another one. What a goal. DiFolino to Michelson, and McIntyre puts it away for a 5-2 lead for the Empire here in Boston. Wow, it looked like Boston had quite a few chances. That Vinogradov chance in the middle. They had another one that looked like it was leaking on Rask. They were able to carry it away, and what do you know? New York able to get one past Sobel again. Vital carries it up, carries it across the red line, and he will dump it in. Paul crunched there by Vital. Christensen over to Kolar. Kolar to Vital. Paul gets it knocked off, but he gets it back. Kolar over to Zuber. Christensen. I'm not really sure what he wanted to do there. Just sort of a backhand flip and wasn't any power on it at all. Puck goes out of play. 3:50 left here in the third period. New York winning 5-2. Vital will take the face-off for Boston. Leave against Clarkson. Christensen carries it across after the Boston win. Lindholm to Kovalov. Kovalov whips it in. Clarkson will fire in after it against Kovalov. Boucher tries to get out. I think he does eventually get it out of his own zone, but not off the deflection. Vital will get it deep. And we'll go off for a change, Boston. Not really much urgency from the Yachts right now. Looks like they are just kind of content to almost lose this game by 3, it feels like. All over to Ryba. Ryba bumped off. Zubert over to King. King carries it across, carries it to the slot. Knocked off. Anderson, with a chance, and Rask with the blocker this time, able to come up with the stop. Zubert over to Kolar. Kolar to King. King to Zubert. Can't get good wood on it. Paul able to skate away from danger. Oh, but he turns it over. Stevens to King. King stopped. And Rask, he will play it to Lindholm. Lindholm to Kovalov. Over to Clarkson to Kuznetsov. Up to Kovalov. Zubert gets pinched into the boards by Clarkson. Out to Kolar. He will skate away. Anderson unable to really corral that. Gets to Kuznetsov. Clarkson tries to center. Kolar gets his feet in the way. Zubert with Kolar. Kolar will get it up to Stevens. Stevens to Anderson. Anderson stopped. Kuznetsov carries it away. Knocked away for a second, but Kuznetsov able to get it out. Adelson to Jordan. Just 20 seconds here left in the third period. Boston still trying to maybe get it to a 2-goal game, but it does not look like it's going to matter as New York gets it out of the zone. New York carries it across. Kuznetsov turns it over at the blue line. Jordan will retreat. Cherry up to center. Backlov up to Adelson. Adelson crunch there. And that will do it. So there it is, folks. The first game in PIHANA history goes to the New York Empire. The Empire win this game 5-2. We will be right back after this break with your stats and news from the game. All right, folks, thanks for joining us for post-game coverage. The New York Empire come up with the 5-2 victory over the Boston Yachts. As you can see on your screen there, we have the stats from the game. 24 shots for the Empire, 30 for the Yachts. 24-23 on hits. Pretty evenly matched game, I would say. I think it came down to New York I think New York had the better goaltending. I think Rask was better than Sobel in this game. That was pretty clear. So now let's go to our game stats. We'll start with the winners, the Empire. Kuznetsov and DiFolino with 2 points, each with both assists. Mike McIntyre with the goal and 1 assist to get 2 points as well. Other point getters, we had Holenbeck with a goal, Pennanen with an assist, Kovalov assist, Ryba, Nash, Barron all with goals, Kraus and Michelson with assists as well. Hits in the game, we had Godfried Holenbeck with 5, and along with Jamie Ryba, a little bit of a surprise there with 4, and then Victor Lindholm, the defenseman, also with 4. Let's see, face-off percentages, I don't really care. Okay, and then our goaltender Rask, the .933 save percentage today, 28 saves on 38 shots, 30 shots. My goodness, if I could read numbers, that would be wonderful, huh? So that is it for the Empire. Let's see, who did have the game-winning goal? Let's see, action tracker. I just want goals. I want who would have been the third. Holenbeck. He is the game-winning goal for Holenbeck, beating Sobel. Now the Boston Yachts stats. Anderson, King, and Stevens, the only pluses it's looking like on the plus-minus. Spatal, a -3. O'Shea, that second line got eaten up tonight here in Boston. With a -3 for all of them. Vinogradov, a -2. Joubert and Tonison. Anderson with a goal and an assist, King with 2 assists, and Stevens with a goal and an assist. So again, that first line, the only one, and the first line forwards too, the only ones doing much offensively for the Yachts tonight. Our hits leaders, we had Backlov and Gron with 4, Christensen with 4, and that looks like it is it. 3/1, doesn't matter. Okay. All right, and then our goalie, Benny Sobel, 24 shots against, only 19 saves for a .792. Not the performance Sobel was hoping for. And that is, I don't know why they have Abedisiani there. But, so, that is it for your stats and post-game coverage. Great first win for the New York Empire. Tough opening night loss at home for the Yachts. Got it to within 1 right at the beginning of the third period there. Then they had a power play and they didn't capitalize on that power play, and that feels like kind of the turning point. They had some opportunities after that, and New York was just able to sort of punch their way through, get a couple of goals late to put things away from Ryba and from McIntyre. So thank you for joining us. We appreciated it. Hope you enjoyed your coverage of PIHANA hockey. We will see you next time, folks. Thanks.